Welcome along to ESP Soccer TV number 6. In this episode, like most of them so far, going to be covering transfer news primarily. I'm not going to give you any sneak previews this time. We're just going to roll through it. And, well, the biggest news, I suppose, is a deal that's not going to happen. That's Luis Suarez is not going to be joining Juventus. That's because he's put pen to paper on a new deal. So Liverpool fans will be delighted about that, I'm sure. Suarez always looks a good player to me. So, yeah, that's another player they may be keeping, as well as Andy Carroll, because he's not for West Ham. That's according to Jack Sullivan, the son of David Sullivan. Obviously, David Sullivan knows what's going on. Does Jack? We don't know. And can we trust Twitter? Perhaps we can. Sometimes it's correct. Daniel Agger as well, staying with things strictly Liverpool. If he does, in fact, move on to Manchester City, as I believe they're interested, they're going to have to fork out a lot of money. Depends who you believe. The 27-year-old will command a transfer fee in excess of £20 million, probably £22 million. And if Liverpool want to spend that hard-earned money on a player, obviously Swansea City's Joe Allen would be targeted. £15 million he's going to cost, according to Laudrup, the manager there, Brian Laudrup, saying he's not going to let him go for anything less than £15 million. So, who else is on the move? Well, Santi Cazorla has finally completed his transfer, well, ended his transfer saga, should I say, by joining Arsenal for £16.5 million, which makes you wonder what's going to happen with Robin van Persie. I know he's out on tour with Arsenal at the moment, but will Arsenal be desperate to fill their coffers again by selling Robin van Persie? I think they were looking for £20 million or possibly more than that for Van Persie. £25 million, I think they quoted Manchester City and Manchester United. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with him. But Santi Cazorla has signed, or some people call him Cazorla. Who am I to say? I don't know. I'm not a fluent Spanish speaker. But anyway, Cazorla then has signed a long-term deal, and it means that Malaga can avoid demotion. Because of course Malaga have got some serious financial problems. Malaga are certainly a club worth looking at if the Premier League clubs are still looking at signing top players. They have some really good players there. Jeremy Toulalon, for instance. I'd certainly look at signing him. One player who has moved on is Marcus Rosenburg. He's joined West Bromwich Albion on a 3-year deal. The 29-year-old striker had a decent record, has a decent goal-scoring record. So I'm sure West Brom are delighted to sign him on a free transfer. He was a free agent. Lucas Moura, meanwhile, that's turned into a bit of a transfer saga. We all thought Manchester United were going to sign Moura, the Brazilian, but it looks like he's more likely to end up at Paris Saint-Germain, who are spending like crazy at the moment. 45 million euros seems to be the amount of money that's going to change hands. The reason that United have lost interest apparently is because Moura's representatives want £6 million in fees, and obviously United turning their noses up at that. Well, staying near the top of the Premier League table last season, Chelsea, obviously the European champions at the moment, are looking to, have obviously spent pretty big already. They're looking to spend upwards of £8 million on Cesar, let me get his name right, Azpilcueta from Marseille. The defender could be joining. In fact, it's going to be more than £8 million. Apparently, Chelsea are considering throwing Gael Kakuta into the equation. He would move on a part exchange deal and plus £8 million, and maybe even more than that, because Marseille are not prepared to sell the player cheaply. We're talking about not being cheap. Reminds me of Tal Ben Haim. This is not a transfer story exactly, but obviously Portsmouth need Tal Ben Haim off their books as soon as possible, otherwise they face liquidation. Apparently, they're only £300,000 apart, the two parties. But Tal Ben Haim is saying that the administrators have blood on their hands, and he's come out and said that he's had a bad press, really. He's already agreed to take £1.5 million less than what he should actually be owed. So I don't know who you should have sympathy for, apart from the fans. Obviously, Portsmouth in terrible disarray, and let's hope they get out of that mess that they seem to be in at the moment. Meanwhile, I was talking about Chelsea a minute ago. Well, Victor Moses is still expected to sign from Wigan, £6 million plus add-ons. Those add-ons could take the transfer fee up to about £10 million. That sounds like the kind of deal that Wigan would be happy with. Other deals that have gone through, QPR released Peter Ramage, of course, and now he's joined Crystal Palace. Let me look. Jan Mavila could be joining Spurs. That's just a rumour, so don't say you heard it here first. You heard it rumoured here first, but it's certainly not a done deal. Same applies to Jermaine Genius. Could he be joining QPR? David Bentley also could be joining QPR. Some sudden Spurs connection with Rangers there. Rangers also looking at Andre Arshavin. So apparently Rangers only looking at North London for new players. £4 million being talked about, but Galatasaray appear to be favourites to sign the small, diminutive Russian midfielder stroke maestro. Stoke City obviously have signed a maestro in Michael Kitely, £3 million. I think I mentioned it the other day, but not the transfer fee. Edin Dzeko, AC Milan wanted to sign him on loan, but it's been rejected. But Manchester City apparently interested in Daniele De Rossi. Not sure I believe that one. I think that's a bit of journalistic spin. Daniel Ayala, though, I believe that, because it is a fact. He's left Norwich City on loan to join Nottingham Forest. And Jordan Rhodes, that's kind of, well, that deal's not happened yet. Huddersfield trying desperately to cling on to him. Blackburn seem to want to spend their way out of the Championship, which is good news for their fans. And for their fans, I hope it works. But £5.2 million has not been enough to tempt Huddersfield to part company with their top highly rated striker. Meanwhile, Liverpool are quite close, apparently, according to some sources, to signing Nuri Sahin of Real Madrid. The reason being quoted is Brendan Rodgers has a close relationship with former Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho. Of course, they worked together before, and he may well sign Nuri Sahin. And if he doesn't manage to get him, he's going to be looking at Ibrahim Afellay, who, like Nuri Sahin, has been linked with Arsenal, but can't really see Afellay moving to Arsenal at all right now. So it looks like Afellay will be going to Liverpool, if anywhere in the Premier League. But yeah, it does sound like a lot of spin by agents. Obviously, that kind of thing's going on a lot at the moment. So hopefully, whoever you support, you're going to get the kind of players that you want. Meanwhile, of course, don't forget to visit the new website, www.espsoccer.com. Till the next time, take care.